This is Dylan with Bulldog Rooter, and I'm at 1120 West Dalton Avenue, Spokane, Washington. This is a sewer video inspection. I'm pushed out to the 6-inch common line, and this is as far as I can push out. There's obviously an offset here. Definitely some grade issues. Couldn't push past this point, so there's an obstruction. It's a structural issue. You can see the lip right there of the pipe, especially right here. Just can't push past that spot. It's holding water just at that point. So this is the 6-inch clay pipe. Every 3-foot section of pipe there's a joint. This joint was completely root bound. This entire pipe was. And you can see how clean it is now. Absolutely spotless. There's a few joints that are, still root bound, but we were jetting at 4,000 psi. Right here you can see some pretty serious stress fractures in the pipe. It's just from over time those roots will grow and they'll put so much pressure on the pipe that they stress fracture and eventually will collapse the pipe if this line isn't maintained properly. You can see where there were roots. There's only a couple joints that really, left behind roots. It's not going to be perfect, but it's a lot better than it was. A lot of the joints, it's kind of hard to imagine why it would clean these joints a lot better, but those joints that weren't cleaned, as well as the other ones, are probably joints that the roots are really, really thick in. Like the actual vine of the root is probably protruding through with the pipe. Pretty spotless. There's a hole right there in the 6-inch pipe. Right there. You can see the water dripping. So the roots have gotten to that section right there, and or there's a rock that has settled over time and just punched out that hole in the clay. And this is the transition from 4 on 1120's property to the 6-inch, tying in with the neighbor's line. You can see quite a few roots in the neighbor's 6-inch pipe. See, this is all 1120's 4-inch sewer. So I found a hole in the 4-inch and in the 6-inch. There's a hole in the 4-inch right there, to the top of that pipe. As you can see, it doesn't look like there's been heavy root growth through that spot, so that's good news. And there might be another hole right there. Not sure, but we didn't even run the jetter through this section because of those. All I ran the other night was my 4-inch blade and cleaned that up pretty well. And that is your video inspection. Thank you very much for choosing Bulldog Rooter.